Laptop-y tablet versus tablet-y laptop. The Apple M4 iPad Pro versus Microsoft Surface Pro 11 2025 edition. Which one is better? Let's go over the raw stats. The M4 iPad Pro is Apple's flagship laptop-y tablet starting at $999 for the 11-inch version and $1,299 for the 13-inch. While the Surface Pro 11 now comes in a 12-inch, slightly more tablet-y, and a 13-inch, more professional laptop-y version. The 12-inch starts at $799, which has an LCD display, and the 13-inch starts at $999 for its LCD version and $1,499 for OLED. Both devices sport extra purchases for keyboards and pens, so keep that in mind. Size-wise, the iPad Pro has two options, the 11-inch and the 13-inch, both with 120Hz OLED displays, while the Surface Pro 11 sports either the 12-inch LCD with 90Hz or the 13-inch 120Hz version with that optional OLED display. Only the iPad Pro comes with an OLED display for all of its models, while the Surface Pro, only the 13-inch OLED is an option, though the newer 12-inch model is more portable and closer in size to the 11-inch iPad Pro. Next, for connectivity, both are not great, but there's a clear winner. The iPad Pro uses one Thunderbolt USB-C, so a dongle will likely be necessary for you if you intend to connect multiple accessories to your device, while the Surface Pro has more ports, which allows for a bit more flexibility. But frankly, neither is that good in this comparison. We'd hope for more. This is something that, due to the nature of tablets and two-in-ones, connectivity is still a bit lacking, but the Surface Pro 11 does have more ports, so the point goes to Microsoft. Though do note that the 12-inch Surface Pro does not come with a power supply, so that's an extra accessory to keep in mind. Now on to cameras, both of these devices are solid. The iPad Pro sports a lot with a wide rear cam, LiDAR scanner, and an ultra-wide front camera, which makes it so the iPad is super versatile for a tablet. While the Surface Pro 11 has an ultra-wide front camera and a wide rear camera, which do still enable flexibility for the device, likely enough for most users. But overall, for the past few years now, the iPad takes the cake in the camera department. For the external summary, the iPad Pro gets the point for OLED on all models and its camera system, while the Surface Pro has better connectivity. Now let's discuss the fun stuff, the internals. For the internal specs, the iPad Pro rocks the M4 chip, while the Surface is a bit more variable. M4 is Apple's fastest processor in a tablet currently, essentially a computer chip put into the portable device. While the Surface Pro 11 sports for the 12-inch model and LCD 13-inch version the Snapdragon X Plus, and the Surface Pro 13-inch OLED gets the Snapdragon X Elite, which do give the M4 chip a run for its money. Check out the benchmarks on your screen. And the Snapdragon X Elite actually beats out the iPad Pro in the multi-core tests, which is pretty impressive. But know that both devices will perform well in the real world with no concerns there. And both of these chips also have their own NPUs, or neural processing units, for AI functionality. For storage, both of these devices still in 2025 tie, and they're both not great. 256 gigabytes of storage for both devices, though the Surface Pro SSD is upgradable, so point to Microsoft. And for battery lives, both should last a full workday. There will be some variability for you depending on your workflow, but know that they both should be pretty solid. Additionally, both devices have their own respective security software, Face ID for the iPad Pro, and Windows Hello for the Surface Pro. And finally, for the operating systems, the iPad Pro runs iPad OS, while the Surface Pro uses Windows 11, which are two totally different operating systems that enable different use cases for these devices, which we'll get to more in my verdict. But to summarize, both of these devices sport some extremely fast internal specs, with the Surface Pro rocking an upgradable SSD. Now let's get on to the verdict. So, the 2025 edition of the M4 iPad Pro versus the Surface Pro 11. Not too much has changed in the past year, though there is still a bit to discuss. These are two really great devices. They both work, and work well for your intended uses. The laptop-y tablet in this case for the video is the iPad Pro, and it can function sort of like a laptop, especially with the Magic Keyboard and the updates that iPad OS is getting. Though it's not a complete laptop. It can't do everything a Mac can do, such as run a variety of different programs the same way a MacBook can. So you're more limited in its uses. What the iPad Pro is used for, though, it does really well in, such as note-taking, drawing, content consumption, some light photo or video editing on the go. It can be a great companion to your computer. While the Surface Pro 11, that's a computer. That's a tablet-y laptop. Given the new 12-inch version of the Surface Pro, which is frankly pretty odd that there's just a 1-inch difference between the two models, the Surface Pro is a compact, portable laptop. It does everything a laptop can do well, such as run a variety of different programs, but in regard to being a solid tablet, it is great at what it does, but Windows is not an inherent tablet operating system unlike iPad OS, so you won't get as seamless of a tablet experience as you would with the competition. The Surface Pro 11 is best used as your main computer, especially when on the go. So with that said, I'd say if you're an Apple person at heart and you're dedicated to that ecosystem, make sure you have a primary laptop or computer first, such as a MacBook, before getting an iPad. Because like I said, it's a great companion, but that companion won't be able to do everything. But what it can do, it does especially well. So choose the iPad if your needs align with the tablet. On the flip side, if you want a primary Windows laptop to use for your needs, get the Surface Pro 11. It is a great centerpiece device to use on the go for a variety of different tasks, but do note that it won't be as strong of a tablet as the iPad. So there are pros and cons to each choice, though as I always say, make sure to focus on your needs and go from there. And that was my Make It Simple general overview of the 2025 iPad Pro versus Surface Pro 11. What do you think? Do you prefer one over the other? Let me know in the comment section down below, and be sure to check out the affiliate links in the description. My name is Seeroos. It's spelled like Cyrus, pronounced like Sea Rooster, just take out the terror. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.